Hi, this is a short video on trusts and how they work in Virginia. Often people ask me questions about trusts and how they should be used in estate planning. Trusts are useful for avoiding probate or perhaps helping to shield some assets from tax implications or concerns that you have. And trusts are also great if you want to put conditions on certain property, real property, homes, things of that nature, or if you have minor children who, when at the time of the making of the will or the trust, they are under the age of 18 and really need someone who can safeguard those assets until they're of a suitable age. And that age, I will say, is up to you. It doesn't have to be 18. It could be 18, it could be 20, 21, 22, 25, or you could even stair step it. It could be 18 years old, you get so much, 20, 25, final disbursement. It's really up to your individual preferences. So how trusts work in Virginia is, at the time of your death, you will have a pour over will. And that's a big fancy way of saying everything that you own at the time of your death is poured over or placed into the trust for holding and safekeeping so that it can then be dispersed according to your wishes. Now, a common question I get is, does this help me avoid probate? Well, yes, but you still have to take the pour over will and you still have to put it on record with the clerk's office in the jurisdiction where you live and reside at the time of your death. And so there is a bit of probate, there is still that process, but there's not going to be the extensive oversight that you would typically have with just a simple will or a normal sort of will. So that's kind of how that works on the back end. A lot of people don't fully understand how that works. And of course, I'd be happy to do a consultation and explain it a little more. But you have the pour over will, again, that puts everything into the trust at the time of your death. Now, when you create a trust in Virginia, you have to fund that trust in some way. So when we create them through our office, we go ahead and do a couple of different things. We deed the current home that you have into the trust. And then we also assign your personal property into the trust, clothing, heirlooms, furniture, that type of thing. It's very simple to do. And I also provide you with an affidavit of trust. That way, if there's any questions about the trust's existence, who the trustees are, you usually can just provide this affidavit, and that serves as notice and confirmation that you do in fact have this trust. So trusts are also good for tax implications. I will note I am not a CPA, and I know that there sometimes are questions about, well, how is this going to affect taxes and inheritance taxes and all of that. So I am very comfortable working with a CPA if we need certain provisions in place. If you're really concerned about taxes or have an estate of that magnitude. The last time I checked, I believe the federal inheritance tax was about $5.49 million. Anything less than that, you're not going to really be taxed federally. Now, of course, the state of Virginia or the Commonwealth of Virginia is going to have some taxes there, but overall, if you're really concerned about the federal taxes and implications, that's the threshold we're working with, and sometimes that eases clients' minds. Trusts are great, again, for avoiding probate. A lot of people don't want oversight or the state knowing everything that they own, how it's going, where it's going, the value of things, and that's pretty normal too. So trust can be, something you select for many different reasons. I see clients discuss it for many of the reasons I've already discussed. And sometimes it's just their preference to have a trust to make it simple on those who are going to be distributing their assets after they are no longer here. I will just briefly say, with our trust packages, we do include the pour over wills, the trust, the powers of attorney, both financial and medical, which I do cover in a separate video. So please feel free to check that out. I include deeds, if any deeds are necessary, to put them into the trust. And so we really try to set you up as fully as possible moving forward. Now, I always get this question, irrevocable versus revocable trust. I tend to lean towards revocable for so many reasons. If it's revocable, you can change it at any time, you can revoke it at any time. and you remain in control while you're alive. I mean, relationships change. I say this all the time. People change, relationships change, circumstances change. And what you do today may not be what you want for the next 10 or 15 years if you're able to live that long, and Lord willing, you do. So, you've got to think about what kind of trust you're setting up. And usually most people tend to do revocable. It just suits their needs better and allows them that flexibility that they may need over the upcoming years. And as I said that, of course, the revocable trust is modifiable. We can always amend it. We can amend its terms, and that can be done very simply. Or if there's more complex changes that you want or edits, we can certainly take care of that too. So trusts are useful. They are great for people of all family types and asset values and estate values. It's really just your preference. You by no means have to get a trust, but I hear lately I've had quite a few people asking for them, so I thought I would just do a quick video on what they are, how they work, and just a brief overview. Of course, there are always nuances that I'm not going to cover in a video, but I do like to at least give you a base level of information so that way you can make a decision that is best suited for you. If you would like to discuss setting up a trust, or even just a simple will or powers of attorney or advanced medical directives, any questions that you have, I would be happy to meet with you and go over that. It's important to have a solid estate plan in place at any time in life, and especially if you have kids or from a blended family, you need to have your estate planning in place. You do not want the state figuring out what happens with your property after you pass. You need to be in control of that. You've worked hard for these assets, you've worked hard for what you have in this life, and you deserve the ability to give it to who you so choose. And I think that's important. So as always, if you want to make a consultation, the phone number for the firm is 276-477-1422. And as always, we look forward to seeing you.